Welcome elected members, staff, guests and members of the public to the Ordinary Council meeting of the 17th of June 2026. The City of Busselton acknowledges the Wardandi and Bibliman people as the traditional custodians of this region and pays respects to their elders past and present. Thank you for joining us today in this formal meeting of the City of Busselton, and certain protocols apply. The meeting is being live streamed and recorded to ensure an accurate and official record. I kindly ask that you do not record, photograph or take videos during the proceedings, as the official recordings will be made available. In attendance, I have a full attendance. We are all here. I have no apologies, no approved leave of absence. I have no disclosures of interest. In hindsight, is there any disclosure of interest? There being none. With regards to item 5.1, responses to previous questions taken on notice. The questions taken on notice at the previous meetings have been responded to via email, and the responses will appear in the minutes of this meeting. So they will be in the agenda minutes of this, yes. These are the questions. I now move on to public question time. Well, will be allocated a minimum of 15 minutes. I request that members of the public asking questions limit the amount of preamble to their questions. I will otherwise please ask you to put your questions. Tonight I've just received one request from the public, and that is from Mr. Sims. If you'd like to come forward, Mr. Sims, and for the record, your name and where you are from.
Keith Sims, Busselton. I'm sure you remember me from last week. Could I just make a comment? With the live streaming, I have questions, but with the live streaming, each time I look at it, it has the agenda over the top of it and I can't see the whole show.
The whole show?
Yeah, you can see down the right-hand side there's segments of people. They're whole, but just segments, and the main screen is covered by the agenda, which was up on the screen a minute ago. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First question, unhosted STROs. The 27th of May 26 OCM, I asked regarding the large current number of unhosted STROs, what further changes the City of Busselton would be implementing. Part of the response that there were currently restricted zones and the city have been complimented for actioning, and some of the 51 current DAs were for reapplying for after a 1-year term. Question, why can't the City of Busselton consider and give notice to all unhosted STROs operating in the restricted zone that in, for example, a 3-year time frame, they can no longer operate as an unhosted STRO. The property owners would have sufficient time to plan to make an exit, and they would get capital gains and income gross profit having made.
Thank you. Mr. CEO, do you wish to respond?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Sims. As with many things in local government, the planning legislation does not provide any ability for a local government to revoke an approval once issued. Historic USTRA approvals were not time limited, so they can continue to lawfully operate. The city's new USTRA framework time limits approvals, so the city has the ability to reconsider them should they be demonstrated to cause amenity issues or if the planning policies change in the future.
So you can't change it without government approval? So can we seek government approval?
Mr. Director Barber?
No, the regulations don't provide any ability to revoke an approval.
Okay.
So if an approval's been issued, it can't be revoked. Yeah. That would require the Act to be changed by government, which is unlikely.
Okay, good try. City of Busselton OCM once per month. The pending change from the current traditional fortnightly ordinary council meeting to a single monthly meeting will effectively halve public question time for the community. Council meetings will return to being longer and later to accommodate the business currently conducted over 2 meetings, and longer meetings are not necessarily better. Question: prior to and during debate, did all councillors consider and understand the ramifications of the change, creating longer and later meetings and halving monthly public question time?
Mr Sims, is that a question to each of the councillors?
No, I'm asking you as chair and the mayor who represent them all.
Yeah, this
'Cause I'm not allowed to ask
This was
individuals.
debated and agreed on last week, so it went through council. But Mr CEO, do you want to respond?
Unfortunately, we can't respond on behalf of individual councillors, Mr Sims. So we're really not in a position to give you commentary on that, other than there is a requirement for the council to, all elected members I should say, not just councillors, to understand the ramifications of the decisions that they're making. I would just make the point also that question time is a minimum of 15 minutes, so it doesn't mean that it has to just be limited to 15 minutes on each occasion.
So hopefully the half hour will be exercised.
And also, Mr Sims, I would say that if, without preamble, as the process is to ask a question, we would have plenty of time for people to come and ask questions.
Oh, I think everyone has accommodated your request to reduce
Yeah.
preamble.
So I can extend that time should I wish. Thank you.
Right. I wrote this at late notice and
Well,
I
this is your
didn't
fourth
present
question,
it today.
Councillor.
So this is my third question.
I think you snuck another one in, but I'll let it go.
So it's headed respect. At every council meeting, the community are asked to be respectful as guests, but that is not always reciprocal. At the 27th of May, OCM, after a 2-month absence, I was perturbed by the status of what I call faction fighting during debate by councillors. Robust debate is essential for any pending decision outcome, but also needs to be respectful, along with passionate beliefs in the subject being debated, which is on behalf of the community they represent. So my question is, I ask, hopefully all councillors on their long break can review how they intend to represent themselves on their return during any debate for the future.
Thank you.
You may not like other people, but
Sorry,
you
I'm
need to work
not going to
together.
get into debate. I appreciate that, but it is question time. Thank you. And you are welcome to come along at CAS sessions and talk to council if you want to.
Are we recording?
Thank you.
Are we recording those meetings yet?
So those meetings are not recorded, no.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions from the public? Ms Shackleton, would you like to come forward for the record? Please state your name and where you are from. You're always hidden behind that chair. It's a taller one.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Shackleton. I'm from Not enough. My first 2 questions relate to the city's responses to my questions which were taken on notice during the last council meeting. The first one related to the city-led events. My follow-up question is, where on the city's website can the community find a list of city-led events, and what cost centre in the city's budget are they debited against, please?
Director Palmer.
City-led events was something that was introduced post-COVID, when there was a significant downturn in events being organised and approaches to the city for sponsorship of those events. So a small budget of, I think, between 20 and 30,000 was established to do space activation events. So we held small-scale events out at Yoyella, Bass, and down on the foreshore and in the CBD, mostly music-type events to bring community back together post-COVID. In the current year, we have not used that budget at all because now events have returned sufficiently and we haven't felt that there has been a need to. And I don't believe we used it in the year prior either, or may have used a very small portion of it.
Okay. So this isn't related to the community voted events, which was set up because of COVID. This is quite separate.
No, through the chair, that's the You Choose program.
Yeah, yeah,
and
sorry,
that
I
was
couldn't
set
think
up
of it.
as part of a CEO KPI at the time to introduce some participatory budgeting, more so than COVID per se. Yeah.
Not according to the minutes, but thank you. So there is, what cost centre do they go against? Sorry, that was the other part of my question.
They would be costed to that budget line item. I don't have a number.
Oh, no, I meant, is it against the BDEMP or against
Yes,
your department or?
yes,
The
the budget
BDEMP.
comes
It
from
is.
BDEM, yeah.
BDEM.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid the answer to the question 3 didn't quite answer my question as to which algorithms are being used to calculate economic benefits derived from the BDEMP. My question asked for the sources to be identified, which has been very broadly addressed, but the question was for the algorithms to be identified, including their sources. Can you please provide that answer?
Ms. Zia? Director Palmer?
I'm not sure what else we could provide. The only formula that's really recognised for event evaluation is that used by Tourism WA.
Yes, that was said in
Yeah,
the
that
answer,
was in
but
the
not
answer.
what the algorithm was. What are you?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, we can, I think it's on their website, but yeah, we can definitely
Yeah, but
provide
there's
that.
several.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yes, I'm sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Shepherd.
I haven't finished yet.
You said 2 questions?
My third question.
Oh.
Gosh, you're pushy tonight. My final question relates to the city's register of gifts, which is supposed to reflect the period from November 19 to the 31st of May this year. I note that several anomalies with regards to staff and councillor registers, specifically that the total gifts in both categories has suddenly fallen from over 52 gifts valued at $7,500 for 2023 down to $60 for one staff member this year, and doesn't include any councillors. B, that gifts relating to past councillors have completely disappeared from the register. And C, that although the CEO is required to record all disclosures to the gift register within 10 days, entries have been recently entered for Phil Cronin both as Mayor and Councillor for gifts received in 25 and 2024. Can you please explain these inconsistencies, additions and removals, please?
Look, given the breadth of that question, I think it might be best to take it on notice and provide you with
Do
a
you want me
response.
to send you an email?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions? Ms. Bennett, please come forward.
Good evening, Jane Bennett from Busselton. I've just got one question. Could we please have stats on the number of new ratepayers to the city for the past 12 months, and also the dollar amount that equates that equates to for rates revenue to the city?
Ms. Zia?
Take the question on notice, Mr Mayor.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, if you do have questions, it does help if you can send them in beforehand, and then we might be able to get some answers for you. Are there any further questions? Mr. Glover, please come forward.
Good evening, Darren Glover from Ambergate. 2 questions tonight, thanks. Prior to advertising the proposed 7% rate increase for the next financial year, excuse me, had council staff already completed the budget modelling based on the 7% increase as detailed in the long-term financial plan? If we can have a yes or no answer, please.
Yes, there is a draft budget.
Okay, great. Does the council already have a fully costed alternative rates increased estimate that would allow for a rate increase lower than 7%? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, Thanks.
And we're waiting for the submissions to receive and review. Thank you. Are there any further questions from the public? Okay. We have no petitions. We have one presentations by a party with interest. We have Victoria and Simon from the Busselton Chamber of Commerce on item 14.1, report on Chamber of Commerce amalgamation options. You have 5 minutes to address council. Thank you, Simon. And we'll just try and get Victoria online at the same time. Good evening, Victoria.
Good evening, Victoria. Good evening, Mayor, councillors, executive, members of the public gallery. For those who do not know me, my name is Simon Green and I'm here as an elected board member representing the Busselton Chamber of Commerce and Industry, a not-for-profit organisation that advocates for and supports the business community within the City of Busselton. I'm here this evening to speak about the City's decision to end financial support for the Chamber, support that had traditionally come from the differential model. We're currently experiencing reputational impact through our association with Dunsborough Chamber of Commerce, which is unfortunate. The City's report acknowledges that Dunsborough has ultimately changed its position on unification. However, the consequences appear to be the withdrawal of support now also affecting Busselton. Our structure in some ways mirrors that of the council. We have elected representatives from our community who work alongside an executive to deliver outcomes. A key difference, however, is that we represent one segment of the community, the business community, and the funding is largely voluntary through membership and participation. We generate income by coordinating business events, providing network opportunities, and delivering education and support services across the greater Busselton and Capes region. We're limited by resources. What we do goes well beyond bringing people together. We have the trust and the relationships within the business community to deliver programs. We are actively embedded in the business community. We engage daily with business owners and employees, many of whom who do not have time or the platform to formally voice their concerns. We listen, we gather, we incite, and we bring those perspectives back to our board and executive who are tasked with acting on behalf of those who have elected us. Whilst our membership is fee-based, the reach of the Chamber is far beyond those listed on paper. In a recent report, reference was made to only 4.5% of businesses in Busselton holding Chamber membership. This figure requires important context. Our current membership consists of just over 200 individual businesses. If each of those businesses only has 5 employees, that represents close to 1,000 households directly voicing through the Chamber. If each of those businesses is turning over $1 million, there's approximately $200 million being turned over in the Busselton community. This is not simply a reflection of engagement levels or of economic condition. It also points to a broader structural perception within the business community. Many businesses already feel they are contributing to business support through the differential rates, and that these rates are collected for the betterment of business community, which benefits the whole community. These are not voluntary, so don't businesses deserve a bit of a fair share? Against this backdrop, the City's decision to remove funding from the Chamber is quite frankly disappointing to the Busselton business community. We had made every attempt for this unification and amalgamation to go through. It is through no fault of the Busselton Chamber of Commerce that it did not take place. In context, an investment in the Busselton Chamber of Commerce is not a cost. It is a saving to the City, while still ensuring access for businesses to independent-led support and advocacy, as well as training and education. We respectfully ask the City to reconsider its decision to withdraw funding for the Chamber and, by extension, from business itself. If the City chooses to proceed independently in its comprehensive nature, we would encourage inclusion of our people and our businesses. In closing, the Chamber stands ready to continue working collaboratively with the City for the benefit of the entire community. We believe that partnership and not duplication delivers the strongest outcomes. We do want to work together, and we do believe we can assist our business community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Did you wish to say anything, Victoria? There's a short moment of time left.
I just know that there's a bit of a lag, so I asked Simon to step in with me just in case there was any technical issues with that. Sure. The other thing that we do obviously is advocate heavily through different avenues. Today I've spent the day in Parliament roundtables with Premier Cook, Minister Jarvis, Whitby, Dawson and the Deputy Commissioner of DFES. And we do spend a lot of time advocating on behalf of the business community, not just for our members, but for the rest of the community as well. So I guess I'm just here also to see if there's any questions that I may be able to answer.
Won't be taking questions. This is just presentation time, but thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Victoria. Okay, I now move on to item 8.1. Which is the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 10th of June 2026 to be confirmed as a true and correct record. Do I have a mover? Move Councillor Love, seconded Councillor Dykstra. Is there any opposition? Being no opposition, I put the motion. All those in favour? Motion is carried 9-0. Thank you. I have no applications for leave of absence. As I said, I will break these down. So item 14.1. That the report on the Chamber of Commerce amalgamation options. Do I have a mover? Moved Councillor Kennedy, seconded Councillor Dykstra. Is there any opposition? Being no opposition, I put the motion. All those in favour? Motion is carried 9-0. Thank you. Item 14.2 is the lease renewal, cafe portion, Old Courthouse Complex. Do I have a mover? Moved Councillor Ryan, seconded Councillor Dykstra. Is there any opposition? Being no opposition, I put the motion. All those in favour? Motion is carried 9-0. Item 14.3 is the Busselton Jetty 20-year master plan and end of jetty pavilion project. Do I have a mover? Moved Councillor Ryan, seconded Councillor Dykstra. Is there any opposition? There being no opposition, I put the motion. All those in favour? Motion is carried 9-0. Item 16.1 is the elected member information bulletin. Do I have a mover? Moved Councillor Mueller. Seconded Councillor Kennedy. I'm going too quick. Is there any opposition? Being no opposition, I put the motion. All those in favour? Motion is carried 9-0. I now moved on to item 15.1, the authorised person management of complaints of alleged breaches of behaviour. Do I have a mover? Moved Councillor Adams, seconded Councillor Dykstra. Is there any opposition? Being no opposition, I put the motion. All those in favour? Motion is carried 9-0, absolute majority. The next ordinary council meeting will be Wednesday, the 29th of July 2026. I wish councillors a little bit of good time when you're on your recess. Some of us will be going off to Canberra to meet with other politicians and such like. So we will have hopefully a good time that is prosperous and collective and meaningful. Anyway, I now declare the meeting closed at 18:08 and thank everyone for their time and attendance and thank you to the members of the public who attended.